Hello everyone. This will be the last video of the weekend, and then we'll see what kind of time I have during the week to put out more, or if I'll have to wait until the next weekend. So, last video we had our little binary counter, aka program counter, going. Let's move you a little bit. Work with me. This thing has like little feet, and they don't want to like stay, so it's kind of okay. What is this? I got a poof in the back of my head. Okay. Anyways, so program counter, yes. I took off the timer thing on here because it is now by button, so it'll increment one at a time, just like how it will do in in actual once this all gets going. So we are currently at 4, so that's the third one in, is on. If we increment our counter, it should go to 5. There we go, we are at 5. Do it again, should go to 6. And there we are at 6. Alright, so that is still working. It's just slower now because I don't have like the crazy counter timer clock thing on there. Yeah. Okay, so now the other stuff. I told you guys that we needed to be able to both write to the counter and also read from the counter. And so I managed to get that done too. So all of our writing lines will come from here, and then this is the bus over here. Now I don't have anything over here to start a signal, so in order to kind of input a signal over here, you have to do it kind of manually. So let's see, 4, 8, 16, we'll start at 32, and 4 should be 36. Okay, so we're going to take these two right here, and we're going to throw them into there. And how we're going to do that is through a single push of a button. So we want to overwrite the PC, which is the program counter. So you hit this button, and then you'll see in here it has been overwritten. And now if we were to overwrite this, or sorry, increment this, we should get 37, which we do. Do it again, we should get 38. There we go. So it still works. And let's see, that's 39, and then 40. There we go. So it works when you put in new stuff. Now what about taking stuff out? Alright, so we want to read. Now this is set to be toggleable. So we would typically use, although because of how I have this set up, just like how I have those going up and down, I have this right here, so our read line is going to come off of here. Now none of this glass is going to get replaced. It was just kind of not in the books for the way it was set up and how the command blocks would have to be. But what's going to happen is all of these blocks here will get cloned onto each one of these blocks here, and then you'll see these lines over here light up with whatever is on there. So we will read. There we go. Alright, so now this is the 4th and the 6th one. If we look down over here, so 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the 6th. So it is currently reading correctly. It's going to drop the signal down, as you can see, onto here. And then, just like over there, it's going to drop over to here, and then I don't have these set up yet because I don't know where my origin point is going to be over here yet. But as soon as these go down here, then it'll light up this entire line, and it'll... Will it overwrite? I don't know if it'll overwrite. It might not overwrite anything that's already on there, so that could be an issue. But provided we flush the bus before we read, that shouldn't really be that big of a deal. So for now, it's toggleable so you can see it, but when this is actually built, it's just going to be like a button type thing. So you'll see it, and then it'll just go away, just like that. All right, so we can now put data in. We can take data out. The counter still works, and we can increment it as we go. And yeah, so this is kind of what it's going to look like. Now, in order to do the overwrite, I needed to go through a series, well, quite a few commands to be honest. Alright, so this first one here is going to take from this quartz block down here all the way over to this quartz block down here, and it's going to change all of that to redstone blocks. And the reason for that is to basically hold all of these. Now these are what's responsible for changing all of these blocks here. So if we put all of these on high or at a 1, then they won't change if you change these blocks, right? So it's kind of, I'm not sure how you would describe that. But, so it does that first, so it'll load all of those as redstone, basically disabling those. And then this one here is a clone command, and what we're going to do is we're going to clone this last little thing here of blocks, and we're just cloning it up onto here. Now because we have all of this disabled, once we clone everything on here, it's not actually going to increment anything on here. And then once we do that, we have to change what this is based on what is over here. So like if this one was redstone, right, and this next one is stone, then we would expect this one to say change to redstone, which it does. So when this one changes state, then this one will turn into redstone. And then likewise for this one, what we would expect on this one is for the stone to be the next one, because when this changes, we want this, when this does its whole thing, then this will change to stone. So we have stone here. And then it's just basically the same thing. So we're checking if, like, okay, here's how I had it set up. If this here is stone, then change this to redstone, right? If this is redstone, then change this to stone. And that's pretty much all it is. So I've got 3 layers of stuff. What's going to happen is this one right here, after it goes through and clones, this one will change all of these first glass blocks here to redstone blocks, which will then power this row of command blocks as well as this row all at the same time. So this one is checking for redstone directly below it. So check for redstone or test for block redstone, test for block redstone, test for block redstone. If it does happen to find a redstone, then what it's going to do on this next one is it will then do kind of the same thing as what this one down here does. So this is a block data changer. And then all this one is doing, it's changing the command inside this block here. If this is redstone, so it'll change this one to stone. And then just the opposite, this one is checking for stone directly below on there. And then if it finds it, then it will set this, this one right here, sets this right here to redstone. So it's a lot of flipping back and forth, and that's kind of how the whole thing works. And then these last ones here are just to overwrite the success count over here on this one. So just block data +2, changing it to 0, and that's all it is. And that just makes sure that you can continually toggle these things and test, successfully test multiple times in a row. And so then this one right here, those also do the same thing. So that's kind of how this is. I already explained all of that. Yeah, and then after you go through and you change all of the commands down here, then this one right here will take the redstone that's currently under here, held high, and it'll turn it back into quartz. Now, because we're going from redstone to quartz, these won't change. And because these aren't changing, they're not getting activated, none of these are changing either, and that's how we get everything to change over and to make the counter start wherever we put the memory in at. So, that's that. You've already seen how I do all of this and all of that. Man. Once I got the program counter actually working, everything just kind of fell into place and it was all pretty easy, so it's all good. And then from some other stuff I was watching on YouTube, I know Mumbo Jumbo did some instantaneous redstone stuff, I guess. And the way that he did it, like you've got a lot of these observers and they're all set up in a certain pattern, and I'm sure that the way that he does it is probably actually instant, where I think mine has just a teeny tiny bit of delay, but you use a lot less observer blocks. So in between this one and this one, we've got the max distance for redstone, and then this one and this one not so much, and that one not so much. But so we're going for the far one here, which goes all the way around over to that second redstone block there. So if we do this, then it just pushes the block out, and we're basically sending this signal all the way over there, and you can kind of see it on the gold over there that it's currently lit up. And you do this again, and it pulls it back and turns it off. So I mean, it's pretty fast. There's just the slightest delay there. And the same thing with this one, just does the same thing. And then this one is so short I don't actually need observer blocks. So then I kind of hooked up these ones over here to do the same. And then so this one just sets, if I can click on it, there we go. Just sets that, and then sets that. And then I was kind of curious, like, just how fast can this go? Now, like I said, my method of doing it isn't instant, but I am very sure that it's a lot faster than using redstone repeaters. So I have this one, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25, 26, 27, 28. I'm guessing that we have, I don't know, 40 or 50 spans, full spans of redstone here. So we have this button here is going to set a redstone block down there, which will then send the signal through. And then this observer here powers this command block over here. And we have that repeater set to 2 ticks, if you can see it. And that's required because otherwise the observer doesn't turn on the command blocks. So I kind of figured that I would do it up here so you can kind of see the redstone racing down, which is actually kind of cool. So then you can see it. Whoa, there it goes. Look at that. And then it gets over here. Yay. And so yeah, it's pretty cool, right? So I mean, that is going a very long distance, very quickly. Let's just do it one more time, just for funsies. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. What? Yeah, that's really fast. All right, so yeah. So that's my method of faster redstone transmission using the observers. Once again, it's probably not as fast as Mumbo's, but for most purposes, I think this will work. And it's also very resource light. So you just need redstone dust, and you just need 1 observer per max span of redstone dust. So there's that. Kind of cool. I don't know, like I only saw 1 or 2 videos, and none of the videos that I saw had it like this. So if someone else has already done it, I'm sorry. This is just what I came up with. So yeah. Program counter up and running. We're gonna have to work on some other stuff now, but yeah, it looks like everything is kind of coming together quite nicely. We've got a whole lot of gold stuff, and now all of the gold here is gonna have to be under direct control of the control unit, which is what the program counter is part of. So I get to go and kind of assign instructions to each of those things, and then yeah, it'll be interesting. Basically, it'll be kind of like addressing, like we do over there for each of the RAMs. It's just that instead of reading for address locations, it's going to be reading instructions, and then if the instructions match up to, you know, whatever I set it to be, then it'll send a signal down on one of these lines here. So yeah, I just want to do this one more time. It's fun. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. Bam. Okay. Okay, sorry, I just find that entertaining. I don't have anything down here hooked up in there yet, but then again, once the control unit is done, I'm not going to need that at all. So then the only platform that I will need is just for specific like user interface. So like if I wanted to open a program then I would have to put in like the location of where the program is located, and then I would run that into the CPU, and then the CPU would then go through the entire program, running each of the instructions, and then we'll get a result at the end. Something else I was kind of curious about if I should do this or not, but what if I were to make like a more permanent memory location, kind of like a hard drive, only with a shit ton more memory, so you can store multiple programs? Yeah, I don't know if I need that, because this is going to be difficult as is, but I don't know, it's a thought, it's in my brain, it's bubbling around in there. Okay, so that was a video. You can still see those blocks over there that I really want to put into here, because that would be awesome. But I mean, with these observer blocks though, you kind of, I mean, this is still redstone, so there's still limitations for it, but that would still be really nice to have that kind of stuff in here, because then it would just make redstone contraptions so much cooler. Alright, so that's where we're at. Hope you enjoyed the video, and then yeah, I'll see you on the next video, so bye. If you liked it, you know the spiel. If you like, subscribe, whatever. Okay, bye!